So as a supporter then, if I'm sure you'll have many examples, but if you could share just one with us of a time where you've had, or someone you know has had, an excellent experience, do you have any that have stuck out in
Yeah,
particular?
sure. No, I mean, there's one that it's interesting, talking about big organisations and so on, because actually the example that I really like is actually a big organisation that seems to be doing things really well.
Okay.
And so yeah, there's a friend of mine recently joined the RSPB, and I've been thinking about it for a while. I don't know whether I've just reached that stage of life where we start feeding the birds in the garden, and we have a garden office, and there it's quite nice to sit and look out the window at the little sparrows on the fence and all that kind of thing. But
Mhm.
it's one of those funny things. I've sort of started noticing the RSPB more, and whether it's, I don't know quite what comes first. Is it noticing the RSPB and then noticing the birds, or the other way around? Not quite sure, but somehow they're talking to me in my language and in the right places and all that kind of thing. But actually, yeah, no, a friend of mine, joined recently, and she's had just like a really, feels like she's had a really brilliant kind of welcome experience to that. And so yeah, in terms of their welcome journey, it feels like they've kind of really thought through how to talk to their new supporters. And it's really about, what's interesting is, although that, becoming a member is kind of, you get some transactional benefits from it. You can go and visit their sites and all that kind of stuff. Actually, they really sort of put their cause and the difference you're making kind of like front and center. But it's not just about we're doing great things. It's like, with your support, we were able to achieve some brilliant things. And here's an example of something we've, just done really recently. A short while later, they sort of sent out a new supporter survey to kind of understand their new members a bit more, which presumably will lead into some sort of more tailored communications and those kind of things, but asking them right up front to tell them more about ourselves. And then, yeah, there was an invitation to like a new members webinar as well, to kind of find out more about the organisation and what they do and all that. And that kind of thing might not necessarily be for everyone. You might have people who just have joined just to go, I just want to go and visit some nice places when I'm on holiday and that kind of thing. But if you are the kind of person that wants to find out more and hear directly from the organisation about kind of what they do and the difference they make or whatever, that's there, and that kind of point of connection sort of just feels really nice. So yeah, no, it's almost inspired me to join, and I'm sure I'll go sign up at some point. Yeah, I feel like there's a movement there that you want to be a part of. There's something really enthusing about what they're doing and how they're talking about themselves and the difference they make. So yeah, I'm sure I'll sign up sooner rather than later.
So they're what did you say earlier? They're speaking your language.
Mm-hmm.
They're also keeping the cause and the connection and the supporter front and center. Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot to charities about supporter behaviours, and naturally products and channels, they're going to have some degree of influence over how you communicate with somebody, but ultimately, you're saying here that membership, that the behavior, the transaction wasn't the focus. It was the connection, wasn't it? It was the motivation behind it.
That just sort of, and that, I think, the sort of sense of welcome to a group of other people who feel like you as well, like that sort of sense of community of members, and community of the sort of the wider organisation and so on. Just feels really engaging. Just that sense of like, I feel like I've done the right thing here, and I feel good about myself for it.
That sounds fab. Now I want to go sign up and join. That's
let's all join. Let's all join the RSPB.